All right. Hi, everybody. It is January 2nd in this new year of 2025. So say hello as you join. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. My commitment this year is to do a weekly live stream. So I'm here with you guys live today, Thursday, January 2nd. And today we're going to talk about why New Year's resolutions don't work. I think it's like the perfect thing. And I have the perfect analogy for you guys of why I don't think New Year's resolutions work and what I do instead, what to do instead. I'm just gonna tell you guys what I do instead. And hint, hint, one of my commitments right now that I'm sharing with you guys is this weekly live stream. I'm committed to that as well. So right now we are live streaming or attempting to live stream on Facebook, in the Facebook group, on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Live hashtag replay as you're coming in. And again, we'll be talking about why I believe New Year's resolutions don't work and what to do instead. So hang on for a minute here. I'm actually need to fix a couple things so we can get the live stream going today. And like I said, my commitment, I'm going to be live streaming every single week. So if you guys have enjoyed my lives in the past, make sure to subscribe, make sure to be on my email list and all the things. So that you don't miss out. So you don't miss out on my live streams. That's one of my commitments for 2025. So I'm gonna check everything's working here, make sure we're live streaming all the places, and I'll be back in a few and we'll have a great conversation. So see you in a bit. Give me hashtag live, hashtag replay if you're hanging out with me today. Bye. Be right back.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
All right. Hey, everybody. It is Tammy P, ads and marketing expert. And now I'm publicly announcing, by the way, also business coach. So that is me in 2025. I'm embracing all the things. So today I want to talk about why New Year's resolutions don't work and what to do instead. I strongly believe this, by the way. And I will tell you, people reach out to me all the time and say to me, like, I want to work with you because I see that you take action, right? And it's an interesting conversation. It's a loaded topic, but I will tell you, like, one of the things I can tell you for sure is we can have all the vision boards in the world, we can have all the New Year's resolutions in the world, but we're not going to achieve them without action, right? And that's what I am all about. So before we get started on this topic today, and I would love to hear in the chat, you guys, like, everyone's feelings on New Year's resolutions, vision boards, all the things, whether you love them, whether you hate them. Like, my daughter is, you don't have to hate, that's a strong word, but we'll cancel delete that. But, like, my daughter today is going out to lunch with her friend and they're doing a vision board, which I think is great. And she was like, yeah, we are, I achieved everything on the vision board, and I was like, last year, I'm like, that's for you, work for you, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get started on the topic in a second here, but I love everybody's opinions. We are streaming from on all the channels. We're on Facebook profile, we're on the Facebook group, we're in several groups, we're on school community, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all the places. Yeah, so I'd love your opinion. So Gwen is in the house here, and I see Wes says he's in the house as well. Hello, Wes, good to see you. Claudia, I see her on over on Instagram. Hi, Claudia. And I saw a couple other people. I saw Alana and some other people on here. So say hello as you join. I can't see everybody, but if you do give me a hashtag live, hashtag replay, or a couple comments, then I'm going to know you're all here with me today. So before I get into this, I want to say that, you know, it's a loaded topic with New Year's resolutions here. So Gwen says, I don't make resolutions because I never keep them, right? Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting discussion. So I'm going to give you guys like a concrete example that has nothing to do with business, but it has to do with like New Year's resolutions. So I started in December 2023, and this was not at New Year's. It was sometime in December 2023. So it's been a whole year now. I'm in a cold weather climate. I live in Michigan. I'm Midwest friendly, Midwest friendly as I call it. And I was just not feeling as good last year. So what I did is I decided that, and this is decided, right? You know that word decided. I made a decision. And it wasn't just a light decision. It was like a decision that I was like, no more. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I was not feeling good physically like a year ago. Okay. So I made the decision, and it was a strong decision, a commitment, if you will. I'll use the word commitment, right? That I would get in shape in 2024. And it wasn't in a way of New Year's resolutions, it was in a way of commitment because I did not feel very good at the time, right? So it was sometime in December 2023. It wasn't like the cutoff of January, like I'm going to start, January 1 or whatever. I just started like whatever I wanted in December sometime. I did actually a challenge with one of my clients, which they do an endurance challenge and they have one coming up. If you guys are interested in like doing, getting in shape in 2024, sometime I believe January, my clients are doing an endurance challenge, which I'm happy to share with you guys. That it was actually a kickstart for me. But what I did is I committed to, and it's the word commitment. I committed to working out at the gym 3 days a week. Okay. And, you know, for those that have been hanging out in my world for a while, once I make the commitment, I really go all in with it, right? And I am very much an action taker. So I decided I just didn't feel good anymore and I wanted to do something about it, right? So and I had a little bit of a plan in place, but it was a commitment to work out at the gym 3 days a week, like without fail, right? And I will tell you, after reflecting upon this year and achieving this goal in my life, that I feel like a different person. And I'm not saying this lightly, but I committed to working out at the gym 3 days a week. And I can share about like the stuff that I was doing a little bit, not go into too much. But a year later, I achieved that goal. And so I was reflecting on it sometime in December. Sorry, my earbuds went. That I was like, I did the goal, and actually I feel better. And it worked. But the thing that I learned is that most of the time when we make New Year's resolutions and we don't achieve them, it's because we did not do the thing. We did not make the commitment, and make the commitment for a long enough period of time to actually see the result, right? So most people, they will say, oh, I have a New Year's resolution. They'll try it for a couple weeks and they will stop doing it after a couple weeks because they don't have the fortitude to actually stick it out long enough to actually see a result, right? And so looking at it from, December 2023 to 24 now and achieving my goal, I will tell you the first 3 months in of working out at the gym, I felt horrible, right? If I had quit if I had not stuck it out for the full 3 months, like I would have quit. I would have quit. And 3 to 4 weeks, which is typical, I think, like maybe someone can drop it if they know the stat on this, but like how long typically New Year's resolutions last? Maybe a couple weeks, right? If I was guessing, I'd say to like 2 or 3 weeks. And I had to commit, you guys, for not feeling good, going to the gym for 3 months before I started to get a semblance of a payoff, if you will, right? A semblance of a payoff. That was 3 months of committing to 3 times a week at the gym, not feeling good, right? Not seeing a result. And so this is why I think New Year's resolutions don't work, because people just don't, we don't make the commitment, we don't make the decision, we don't make the commitment to do it, but then we don't necessarily stick it out to see a result, to stick it out to see a result. And I'm going to have another example of this next week, because one of the things that has been so impactful in my business is what I'm doing right now, putting my face on camera and live streaming. Like that literally, there's hardly anything I can take the place of doing that is more effective in my business, right? And I know this because I started live streaming. I started the journey of live streaming in 2024. So hint, hint, this is going to be the theme of January. I'm just getting it started here today. But the theme of January is going to be all about commitment, decision, and also we're going to talk about live streaming because and video been so impactful in my business. So we're going to go in on that this week. So let me see the comments here. We've got Gwen on here, and yeah, okay, so she's interested in it. We'll send it to you. Yeah, yeah. So just reflecting upon, and I really do think I'm not getting into all my personal details in my life because I don't share everything with everybody publicly, but you know, it felt like a really big accomplishment for me because I feel like a different person. Like, physically, I feel like a different person after committing to doing my gym workouts 3 days a week for a whole year and sticking it out. Right. That was a commitment. And now actually I've upped it to 4 times a week. And I feel great. So when we make a New Year's resolution, it's not just about the resolution. It is about the commitment. It's about the commitment that you're going to do it no matter what. And even if you don't feel good, even if you're not seeing a result, because oftentimes, like I said, I think the biggest thing is when we don't really fully commit to what it is we want to achieve. What happens is we give up because the result is not there. We don't see a result quick enough. And I see this all the time, okay? I see this all the time. And I'm just going to call out the entrepreneur community because what happens is we get the shiny object syndrome and we're like, oh, well, we tried this strategy for 5 minutes. It didn't work. Let's move on, right? And there is no shiny strategy. There is no one thing that's going to work for you. You have to find what works for you in your business and stick with it. Stick with it. Make the commitment to stick with it. So if you write down anything, and this could be personal, professional, life, whatever those goals are that you have in 2024, like you could have multiple goals. Okay. And in one of my communities, one of my programs, Accelerator, we're talking all about goals right now. We have been talking about goals for the past month with my students, but you know, it's deciding on that thing, and it doesn't have to be, a lot of times with entrepreneurs, we don't stick it out, right? And so if you pick one thing this year, and you could have 10 things, but one thing this year that you are going to commit with, that you are going to stick with this whole year and really commit, I'm going to tell you right now, you will see a result. You will see a result, and I don't care what it is in your life. Don't pick 10 things, pick one thing. And I was doing it unconsciously when I picked the gym as my one thing for this year, this past year, which I think, in my opinion, was my biggest accomplishment. It was a commitment, but I didn't realize how deeply committed I would be until I got that result, right? So anyway, I hope that's helpful for everybody. And so that's why I feel like New Year's resolutions don't work, because we just don't do and commit to the thing. We have like, oh, I want to set up these 5 processes. I want to start a podcast. I want to do a live stream. I want to, make like $10,000 every month, whatever it is, right? Whatever I want. And it's like way too many things, because the thing is, we have life going on. We all have, a lot of us have kids, we have families, we have things happening, we have our parents that we're taking care of. Lifing is a thing. And so also not overdoing it with our goals, overdoing it with these things, picking the one thing that we're really going to go all in with in the year, I think is just vitally, vitally important. And so I want to share that with everybody in hopes to help. But I would love everybody's take on, in the chat, if you guys want, on what, if you believe there's a resolution, do you to create goals, all the things. Now, I am planning on creating goals for this year. And for the most part, if I'm going to talk about goals for a minute, I'm going to create one quarterly goal. So one big goal, what I consider a big goal a month, not a month, sorry, a quarter, something in which I is new that I need to implement. That's how I'm thinking about it. So as an example, like live streaming to me, I have the system down. I know exactly what to do on my live streams. Like I have the software in place. I have, the steps that I need to do in order to create my live streams every single week and be successful with that. That's not something new. I'm just committing to going weekly live for this whole year, right? That I'm going to go live every single week, and to my audience, to my people every single week as a commitment. But it's nothing new I need to learn. So that's not like that's a commitment goal for me that I am deciding that I'm doing this, but it's not a Q1 quarter goal. So I want to separate that out for a minute. Q1 quarter goal, as an example, would be something that I'm going to implement. That's something that maybe I might be learning, right? So maybe one I would think of as an example is I want to do monthly workshops. In the past, I've done monthly workshops, I've done monthly challenges, and these were things that were very also effective in my business. I know what has worked because I just pay attention, right? So I'm leaning back into that. So implementing a monthly workshop or challenge, that's probably going to be my Q1 goal. Now I have to don't quote me on this because I still have to really go in and really figure out like here's my goals that I want to do for 2025, but what am I prioritizing, right? And that's another thing, prioritizing, like not trying to do too much, not trying to create too many goals, too many things, if you will, because there just makes it so stressful, and it makes it so that you cannot achieve your goals. Like if we are like it's unrealistic, and I've done this in the past where it's just I'm working all the time and it's not efficient, it's not, I have too many things because I'm still running my businesses. I'm actually have new things going on this year, right? And so being realistic and looking at, here's the time that I have. And we're always in new seasons in our life, right? I have some clients right now where they have younger kids and all they're doing, past 3 o'clock is driving their kids around. So they don't have that luxury of time. And then other people, their kids are getting older, or maybe some people, their kids are younger. And so you got to look at your time and be realistic, right? But not taking those decisions lightly and not trying to make too many things so that it stresses you out. And when you get stressed out, guess what happens? You don't achieve any of them. You don't achieve any of them. And I will tell you, looking back on my career, coming into online space officially in 2018 and still being here today with you in 2025, I can tell you my consistency and my commitment to taking action with whatever it is I was doing. In this example, working out at the gym 3 days a week and committing to it for a whole year. That is what's moved the needle in my business and my life. But the commitment, I'm not taking lightly. I'm not taking lightly at all. So, what are the question I have for everyone is what are you committing to in 2025, right? What are you committing to in 2025? If you have one thing, not 50 things, one thing, not being a New Year's resolution, being like right now in today, January 2nd, and looking at, okay, if I do this commitment, if I, as an example, live stream for a whole year, right, which I'm going to hint be talking about next week, how would that change my life? How would that change my business? If I'm going to commit to the gym and I do it 3 days a week for a whole year, how is that going to change my life at the end of it, right? I didn't really look at that. I would feel fixed. Like my whole self would feel fixed. I feel better in so many ways at the end of that. I just made the commitment 3 days a week without knowing ahead what that was going to feel like for me. And actually, it was the same when I committed to live streaming for a whole year way back in 2018. I didn't really know the end result. I just did it and committed. And, I think I'm going to just put this out here because I feel called to speak about this is we oftentimes, don't fully commit, but also get too attached to the outcome, right? There's many things that can happen. So I'm going to repeat this again. We get too attached to the outcome. Okay. I want you guys to understand what that means. So if I committed to the gym and I was like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds and I'm going to gain, I'm going to have this percentage of body fat, right? I'm just making this up, right? Uh, you know, and then maybe I didn't achieve that. Like, I would be like, oh, I didn't get result. Like, I failed, right? I didn't do that though. I just committed to the gym 3 days a week without knowing what the exact end result would be. And sometimes that could feel a little messy, but the commitment to it is what it's about. It's not about exactly the end result, because the thing is, if we put all of our if we attach so much to the outcome, the expected outcome, the expected result, then when we don't hit that result, we're going to beat ourselves up over it. And I think like entrepreneurs get in this cycle, this really bad cycle of like, I didn't hit my goals. And I'm like, well, let's focus on the wins instead. Like in my coaching programs, we focus on the wins, because in the wins and in finding and pulling out those tiny results, and like really doubling down on those little results that we see in our business is really where we're going to see more things happen, not in the big things. It's not in the big things. And this is the thing that nobody talks about. They're just always like, you know, these ginormous results. We're going to get XYZ. And it's just these commitments that are so unrealistic, in my opinion. And I think that's one of the problems with this industry. So anyway, I'm on a little bit of a rampage here, but yeah, I hope this is helpful. So even hint, hint, when I was committing to 3 days a week at the gym, I committed, but I didn't really know what my expected result is. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of December 24, I felt great, right? I felt great. And I was like, wow, I feel like a different person physically. And, it was the same. And I'm going to give the same example as far as how I committed to live streaming in the past and how I'm committing again this year. But again, so many unexpected things came from it. And if I had really attached myself to that result, it wouldn't have been as sweet. And just making that commitment without even knowing all the opportunities that can come your way. Not like being open to all the possibilities that can happen in your business and life is so much more gratifying than, attaching to a certain outcome, in my opinion. And I think like a lot of times in this industry, especially coaching, we get too attached to the outcome, and then we're like, oh, we didn't hit our goals. Like, I give up. Right. And that is so like not the way to be in business. It really isn't. And it just gives people like this feeling of they want to give up all the time. And I don't want that for any of you guys in 2025. So commit to it without being attached to the outcome. Just commit to doing the thing, whatever that may be. So I want everybody who's either hashtag live or hashtag on the replay, drop it on there. Just think about, what is your one thing that you're going to commit to in 2025? And I'm going to type that in the chat, because I want everybody to ask themselves this question. What is the one thing you're going to commit to, non-negotiable, commit, I'm using that word, in 2025. So I want everybody to think about that, reflect upon that. And again, I have different ones for business, life, for different things that I'm working on as part of even the work that I'm doing, the inner work. One of the things I've been talking about, and again, I'm going to lean more into, and by the way, I'm not using the mindset word, but I will tell you, the one thing about entrepreneurship is that it's an inside job. I'm just going to say it right now. Entrepreneurship is an inside job, and you will learn so much about yourself by being an entrepreneur, right? Because all these beliefs will come up around yourself when you become an entrepreneur. So for me, I have different facets that I commit to. I commit to working on inner work, doing the inner work on myself, so that the outer work happens, right? The outer work happens. And I commit to certain things, and I'm going to put it onto paper. I do believe in putting our goals on the paper, because if we don't write them down, we'll never know whether we achieved our goals or not. So this could be in a vision board. This could be a document that we write up. This could be any way, a journal. It doesn't matter. But to have something that you can write down write down concrete, that we can look at back, like now, Thursday, January 2nd, we can look back and like say, okay, like we achieved this and we didn't, but not beating ourselves up around it, right? Not putting negative on it, really going into positive around it. And so I think it's vitally, vitally important. So Wes says, I'm going to podcast daily. Daily is a big commitment. I want to ask you, Wes, like, honestly, I want you to be brutally honest, because again, I've been like that before. Putting out a podcast daily is really hard, right? in my opinion, because there's so much you need to do on the back end, even with this live stream, right? I thought about going live and I'm like, you know what? I could have done all this stuff pre-planning. There's all these like system things I want to do to get people to come to my lives and all these sort of things. I have a checklist and whatnot. I didn't do any of them because I took off yesterday and I don't care. And I still went live today. So the commitment was I went live. But publishing a podcast daily is a lot. So I want you to think about if that is a realistic goal to put out 365 podcasts in a year, right? For me, that wouldn't be realistic. So for me, a realistic goal is I do one live stream a week and I will do 52 of them, except for if I took off for vacation, right? Which I'm going to do because I will take off for vacation this year. So ask yourself, Wes, is 365 podcasts, is putting out 365, is that a achievable goal, or can you get just as good of a result off a weekly podcast? Yeah, it is a task. Full disclosure, I'll be banking some in advance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I gotcha. Banking some in advance, but realistic around it. Because if we, I'll give you another one for a second here. Is I want to start to grow my Instagram. So I have a following on Facebook now, and part of my goal, and I don't know when this goal is going to come in, is a commitment to growth on my Instagram channel. Might be Q1, might be Q2. We'll see. But for a while there, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do 30 days of Instagram reels, and the reels are so good. They say you're supposed to post every day, and I realized like I just can't do it. I can't. And I don't want to say like I don't care, but the thing is, if somebody says to me, you're only going to grow your Instagram if you do 7 days a week, and I can't commit to 7 days a week, well, either I'm going to like listen to that or I'm going to make my own commitment, right? So, as an example, I'd say, well, I can't do 7 days a week of reels, but instead, because this is what I can do and what's aligned for me, I can do three. But then I commit to 3 reels a week, and it's non negotiable for 52 weeks out of the year, non negotiable. Not knowing what the outcome is going to be, with the mindset of like, yes, I want to grow my Instagram and I know that reels are going to be the thing to do that, right? So I just want everybody to, again, be very, very realistic about achieving their goals, coming from a place of like, I wasn't able to achieve the goal of doing the number of reels that I wanted to do. And so I need to now adjust that and be realistic. Otherwise, I won't commit. I won't commit. And this is what I'm talking about here. This is like we just overdo it and then we don't actually achieve our goal because like it's just not realistic with life, family, time, all of that. We actually end up getting burnt out, and maybe we don't need to do that much. We don't need to do as much as what everybody says we need to do, right? And I'll talk about more about, again, I'll be back live next week, because again, my commitment to everybody, unless I'm on vacation or elsewhere, is that I would be live streaming every Thursday. And I have shifted the time around. I'm making modifications to my schedule so that I can achieve my goals with all of you and be here for all of you. But I have shifted the time. So before I was going live on Tuesdays, now come January, I adjusted my schedule because things have changed with my work schedule and whatnot. That I'll be going live Thursdays at noon Eastern, as a commitment to you. Or if I don't, then it would be something that I would, it would be live streamed out. But it's a commitment that I'm going to be showing up live every single week for everybody. And I had again thought about it because I was like, oh, I didn't do all the things I was supposed to do on my checklist. But you know what? I just pressed live because I felt inspired to speak to everybody about why I think New Year's resolutions don't work. And coming from a person that has achieved big things in my business, and not coming from like an ego perspective, but I have achieved things that a lot of people have not achieved in their businesses. And and that all comes down to taking action and commitment and action, in my opinion. Commitment and action, commitment and action. So yeah, I absolutely love all this discussion. Yeah, so consistency is huge. I'm going to read what Wes says. It says, I have a client's podcast I've done for 264 weeks in a row. So I have consistency in me. This is around, I'm going to do it for me. I love that. Knowing that you're going to do it for me, you did, and you're helping others, which I didn't even know, Wes, by the way, that you help others publish your podcast. It's absolutely amazing. And committing to it for yourself. And it really is a thing to commit to these things for ourselves. If we're doing done for you services, as an example, is you're publishing podcasts is a service that we're providing for clients. We're getting paid to do that, but doing it for yourself is a thing. And one of the things I think about is the what's the analogy with the shoemaker has broken shoes, right? Something like that. I'm gonna say it wrong. But yeah, like doing it for ourselves and prioritizing our business first is huge, right? When we have clients. And I have clients, lots of clients, and prioritizing our business first and committing to going live or doing that podcast as a priority in our business in order to grow our business is huge, right? Because a lot of times, and this is off on a separate topic, but I will be talking about it, is a lot of times like if we're helping, helping our clients, then we forget about that we still need to work on growth in our business, right? And doing things to grow our business is different than serving clients, right? They're all very important. So like for me, serving my clients and the people that are in closest with me, working with me, that's high priority. Like I have standards around that as well, but also committing to marketing our business in different ways. Could be podcasts, live streams, publishing on YouTube. Those are all great things. Doing reels, like well, I'm gonna deep dive into more of that next week. The things that I feel like are the things that will be working for you in 2025 when marketing our business to grow our businesses in 2025. Those are all important things, but doing those and committing to them for ourselves to grow our businesses versus helping our clients grow. Those are two different things, two different types of goals, right? But committing to ourselves and doing those podcasts, doing those live streams to grow our business, vitally important to the health of our business, vitally important to do these things. Otherwise, we will look at the end of our business and we haven't grown. And so growth is a huge piece of what I coach on, because that is the key to everything. And we have to have the growth mindset in our business, have to have that growth mindset. And when I say growth mindset, it really comes down to growing our social media and growing in a focused way, by the way. And again, share more of it next week, but growing our social media channels and growing our email list. That is growth mindset, right? So that more people can then come in and work with us. Super, super amazing and easy. So I use Cobbler. Oh yeah, the Cobbler reference. Of course, Wes. It's so great to have you on today. Thank you, thank you. I love to see you here popping in and cheering me on. I love thank you all, by the way. I'm gonna pause for a second here because I got a coaching call in about 10 minutes, but anybody has so when I show up live, so again, I'm showing up live, making the announcement today, January 2nd, showing up live 52 weeks out of the year, except for when I take off on vacation, which haven't planned that all out yet. Also on the planning to do. I commit to you guys to live stream this year. So you guys will see my face. So hopefully you'll love all the things I'll be putting out this year content wise for you guys. But what I want to say here is oh, what was I gonna say? I'm like losing my train of thought. So again, put it in your calendar if you want to see me live Thursdays, noon Eastern. I'm here for you guys. And part of being on live, I can't guarantee I'll be answering your questions if you ask me after the live. But if you have questions while I'm going live and you want to pop in and ask me any questions, I'm here for all of you. It's part of what I do to give back on my channels, on my social channels. So I'm going to pause for a second here, do a little bit of a recap. And yeah, if you have any questions at all, post them in the comments and I will definitely get to them. I'm streaming with StreamYard, so I should see the comments pop in from all the channels. If you guys have a question, just go ahead and ask now. It could be about New Year's resolutions, it could be about goals, it could be about commitments, it could be about marketing, anything you guys want to talk about. Yeah, so I will get to it in a second here if you want to post. Yeah, I see a couple people on with me on Instagram. That's amazing. Probably other places as well. So, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll do a quick recap, then I'm going to go off and prep for my call. So any questions, let me know. You got about 2 minutes and be hopping off. So again, recap, noon Eastern, okay? Noon Eastern on Thursdays is when I'm going to be going live. So put that on your calendar if you want to show up. I will be sharing some amazing content with you guys every week. And a lot of it comes from like what I'm doing with my students, what I'm sharing out, what I feel called to share, maybe even based on what I'm working on in my business actively. That's like where I get my live stream content from. Either I'm working on it or I'm working on clients and I'm like, oh, I want to share this, right? So I'll have different things I'll be sorting out and providing for everyone every week for free through the live streams on all the channels. So I hope you guys are excited to hear from me this week weekly, noon Eastern. And I'll be back sharing all kinds of cool stuff, ads, marketing, how to get clients, AI. I really want to lean into AI and chat GPT this year. So it'll be a really cool training. So I hope you guys are excited. And again, recap, talked about why I believe that New Year's resolutions don't work, and like gave some examples of what has worked for me specifically. And we talked about that. So I don't see anybody asking questions in here. I'm going to just like pop in. And again, I'm so grateful for every single one of you who take time out of your day to sit with me on this live stream. Time is valuable. And so I appreciate every single one of you for hanging out with me live. Every single one of you. I just want to share that with everybody. And I'm going to pop off for the day, but I'll see everybody back next week. All right. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.